knew Huskies. I knew Huskies. I knew Huskies. It's him. I knew Huskies. It's him.
Backwards and fall on your face. The father of the family, like to give and receive. He'll trade your fear for some righteousness. Oh, my children, my little sheep, let's go to heaven in a tangled heap. Oh, my children, there is no hope. Let's go to heaven in a big rowboat. They got tape recorded evidence and photographic proof. There's no reason to try, so what's the use? Yeah. We've been electronically hollowed. It's too hard to fight, it's too easy to follow. All my children, my little sheep, let's go to heaven in a tangled heap. All my children, there is no hope. Let's go to heaven in a big rowboat. Let's go to heaven in a tangled heap. All my children, my little sheep. Let's go to heaven in a big rowboat. They got pictures of the faces with marks of the beast. All my children, my little sheep, let's go to heaven in a tangled heap. All my children, there is no hope. Let's go to heaven in a big rowboat.
These hands I built upon this land. This land is waiting for these hands to build my lovers and my welcome home. To dig the earth and set the stone. These hands I built upon this land. This land is waiting for these hands to build my lovers and my welcome home. To dig the earth these walls, it's in the blood. There is something going round. It's in these floors, it's in the blood. There is something going round. Bring it on, old man winter. Bring it on, old man winter. Bring it on, old man. Do, 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 do. There is something going round. It's in the bedroom, it's in the blood, and there is something going round. It's in the basement, it's in the blood, and there is something going round. It's in the attic, it's in the blood, and there is something going round. Behind the doors, it's in the blood, there is something going round. My Lord is known by his song.
And we're live from the mountaintop in the swamp, from UFOs to camel toes, from big chuckles to moose knuckles. You got it locked on the Derek Farmer Network. How's everybody doing tonight? How you doing? Just got home from work a little while ago. How is the sound? Am I clear? Can I be heard? Shibby says it's good. The camera's more clear. I agree. I can tell just by the I can see myself. You know that. Which is great. I kind of get lost sometimes, you know. It's like looking in the mirror, you know. It's like I'm talking, but I have to somehow get past that. And it is very clear. And I'm assuming the new microphone also is resonating a little bit better than the $100 wonder that I had before. So I just want to say quickly, that was the Danielson family. And before that was Kalamazoo's original hometown heroes, the God Bullies, playing March 21st at Shakespeare's Pub and Lounge in Kalamazoo, Michigan, where I will be hanging out, rocking out with the God Bullies, the one Kalamazoo band I never got to see. Oh, you think the light? Now, Shibby, come on now, Shibby. The lighting is good. let's re-inspect that. What we have here is your standard incandescent RV lighting. I mean nothing special, you know. So that's what I got going on there. Now there is not. I don't have any of those. Dare I say those rings, those gay rings, you know, whatever those things are. You know, they're like rings of light and you know, I'm an amateur broadcaster. I mean, I do appreciate the aesthetic of a studio. I do. Hey, Justin and Sheba's here. Of course, last week, the last show we did live here on the Derek Farmer Network was an interview with Justin and Sheba. And yes, I am definitely going to that show. Justin, I was gonna to get a hold of you because I'm assuming you'll want to go as well. Hopefully, maybe the wife as well. It'd be really fun. Haven't been to Shakespeare's for a show in a number of years. I haven't been there for a rod or reel to go fishing in even longer. But what are we talking about tonight? And besides the equipment test, I do have an agenda. I mean, why not? I think it's a Saturday night. I mean, it's meant to be. It is the spring equinox. If you can't go see the God Bullies on the spring equinox, I mean, there must be some kind of sacrilegious shit that lines up with that. Maybe when you go see the God Bullies on the spring equinox, like, you know, the moonlight shines through the upside down cross in just the right spot and highlights that, you know, treasure cave in downtown Kalamazoo where you will find, along with urine, feces, probably some needles and a couple bums, also possibly Elvis Presley. Because as we know, Elvis Presley was in Kalamazoo, Michigan in 1989. Many years after his death, but that is a story for a different show. Thanks for being here tonight, though, this Friday night here on the Derek Farmer Network. You know, it's been a while. I haven't been kicking out the shows the way that I was kicking them out. I've been working a lot more. Bottom line, I was going to take Monday off, fix the old Cambo up. I'm supposed to go to I don't know. Friday night. It's a Friday night or tonight's Friday night. I'm talking about the rock show that the God Blues are putting on March 21st, which I believe is a Saturday. And close enough, right? Well, I can't fuck the night up, Shibby. Not for the rock show. You end up showing up on the wrong night. That's just no fun. Wife Lilith's here. Hey, Wife Lilith, how are you tonight? I'm not sure that we'll be talking about Delphi, Wife Lilith, but we're glad to have you here. Anyways, to hear me go on about nonsensical shit. Give me 1 second here. I will actually put up a what do we call this thing? A link. And I put up a link. I gotta say, it's much easier working on. Oh, there we go. Working on this new computer. It's not all laggy, if you will. And also, thank you, thanks, Chivy. Also, if anybody wants to call in and just go on about nothing, I figure this show is kind of like Seinfeld without the humor. We talk about nothing, and also it's not entertaining. So moving on from there, what are we talking about tonight? What's on my agenda? UFOs. UFOs are always on my agenda, right? I know Delphi. Everybody loves to talk about Delphi, blah, blah, blah. I get sick of the Delphi conversation. No disrespect to the victims or the victims' families and or friends, of course. They probably get sick of hearing about it as well. They might want to turn on the computer someday and not hear about it. So tonight we're going to talk about UFOs. However, a UFO over Delphi show might be something we do in the future. James Lacatski, put a 1, a 6, or a 9, whatever you want in the. I don't care what you put up in the comment section. If you've ever heard of James Lacatski, give me a second. We'll pull him up. Now, I find this quite interesting. Give me 1 second here. Lacatski, we're going to go ahead and share his kind of little wiki deal. Wiki. There we go. Let me get to, there we go. Oh, yes. Handsome fellow there, James Lacatski. Why are we talking about James Lacatski? We'll tell you in just a second. These pretzels are making me thirsty. Oh, thanks, Wife Lilith. I don't know if they're always interesting. I find certain things to be, interesting from time to time, and then I sort of obsess about them, and then I kind of move on. James Lacatski is my Baskin-Robbins flavor of the day, I guess, to kind of obsess over. Now, why is this guy important in the UFO, UAP disclosure sphere, if you will? And I'm going to tell you why. James T. Lacatski is a physicist and former Defense Intelligence Agency intelligence officer. Of course, a couple red flags go off right away when anyone professing that they know the truth about anything going on in the UAP community is from the intelligence community themselves. So you have to wonder, is it, misinformation, disinformation? But we'll read on here before we determine those kind of things. Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, of course, big agency, big 3-letter agency within the kinetic, in terms kinetically of our 3-letter agencies. You have the CIA, you have FBI, you have all your military agency, but DIA, I believe, is the the director of that, I believe, is Tulsi Gabbard right now. Yeah. So, anyways, served as the founding program manager for OSAP. That's the Advanced Aerospace Weapon System Applications Program. OSAP was the precursor, just so you know, to help me out here. Where's Hiawatha when I need her? OSAP is the precursor to whatever organization Lou Elizondo ran after that. Anyways, we don't need to worry about that right now. OSAP, of course, originally funded by deceased Senator Harry Reid, who did this secretly through Congress as a black budget program based on the activities of Robert Bigelow and the Skinwalker Ranch phenomenon. Okay. And we won't want to get too sidetracked. Many of you know already what that stuff is. They've made television shows about it. So moving on. This guy plays a particular part, in my opinion, in the disclosure movement, because here you have somebody that's not just a secondhand sort of, and he's not a whistleblower, but they are allowing him to make a certain amount of information. I say they, and I literally mean the Dopser process. He's written 2 books. These things have to be cleared through the government agency that clears ex-intelligence officers who write books or go onto shows. Before they can talk about anything, they've got to get all that cleared with Dopser, right? And I don't know what that acronym means right off the top of my head, although I'm sure it would be quite obvious if we looked it up. If anyone wants to put that up in the chat section, what the acronym Dopser means, it's basically the process where they will go over all the information. They'll read your book and say, no, you can't talk about that. You can't, and you can talk about this. This man's been cleared through the Dopser process to talk about the things that he has been talking about. And when you couple that with his work as a Defense Intelligence Agency officer who was a founding member and program manager for the OSAP program, a precursor to the program that actually was the UFO investigative program that Lou Elizondo supposedly ran, whatever. And also then the precursor to what we have now, which is known as AARO, AARO. And that's the All Anomaly Resolution Office. Basically meaning that there are so many anomalies in the sky and in the water that we can't explain. They need an entire office funded by hundreds of millions of our tax dollars to investigate and deal with these unknown intelligences that aren't real. That aren't fucking real. Okay, sorry if that's a little loud for the new mic, but get it through your heads, everyone. It's either real or it's the biggest psyop ever played on the human population. Could be a combination of those things. And it could be many things that are real, in my opinion. Let's go on. The Pentagon's most comprehensive UFO investigative program to date, referring to OSAP. Holding expertise in aerospace, defense, and intelligence, Lacatski specializes in missile defense systems during his career at the DIA. His academic credentials include a doctorate in engineering, and he worked extensively as a rocket scientist before assuming leadership of OSAP. Okay, he was in charge of the program to investigate anomalous shit that was funded through our own federal government, unbeknownst to us, through a black program that was funded by Senator Harry Reid from Utah as the Democratic lead in the Senate at the time. Lacatski's interest in UAP investigations began in 2007 after reading the book Hunt for the Skinwalker. I'm not thrilled with that, which detailed unexplained phenomena at a Utah property owned by aerospace entrepreneur Robert Bigelow. By the way, the Robert Bigelow Ranch and all that shit, you know, people used to be able to go there and check it out, whatever. It's all owned by the government now. There is a huge fence around the entire Skinwalker property, and you are not allowed in. His initial motivation stemmed from national security concerns, particularly regarding potential threats to U.S. missile defense systems. After contacting Bigelow, Lacatski was permitted to visit Skinwalker Ranch, where he reportedly witnessed what he later described as unearthly technological device in the property's kitchen. This experience, combined with his concerns about aerospace threats, led Lacatski to present his findings to Senator Harry Reid, ultimately contributing to the establishment of OSAP. Let me flash back for a moment. Is anyone still listening? I don't know. Hey, my boss is here. Hello, my boss. I would like to welcome into the room. I'm not sure. Is this oh, it's Kishmar. Hello, Kishmar. Good to see you. Glad you are here. We are just talking tonight about the bullshit that this government has been pulling over the eyes of the American people, not just for 5 years, not just for 10 years, but for 80 years minimum. We have been living in a classified reality. Let's go on. Mr. Lacatski managed the OSAP program from 2008 to 2010, overseeing what became the U.S. government's largest acknowledged UFO investigative program. Okay. Let's move on a little bit. You guys know I like to skip paragraphs here. Now, you may have heard me talking about something maybe about a year ago now at this point called Kona Blue. It turns out Lacatski spearheaded an initiative called Kona Blue in the early 2010s, attempting to transition the program to another government agency. The stated goal was to reverse engineer technology allegedly recovered from craft of unknown origin. Again, taxpayer dollars, guys, our money is being spent on this in the hundreds of millions of dollars for something that does not exist. Does that sound plausible to you? Because it doesn't to me. Let's move on. The Kona Blue proposal was based on assumptions about the existence of recovered alien craft and biological materials. The documents note that no alien craft or bodies were ever collected. This material was only assumed to exist by Kona Blue's proponents and its prospective contract executors. The initiative ultimately failed to secure approval or funding. Bullshit. They just called it something else. Now, Lacatski became, I can switch back now here because I know the rest by heart. Hey, Abby, good to see you. Abby, I'm glad you are here tonight. My friend, Abby Morris from the Kalamazoo area. She, as you know, a couple months ago, I was in Kalamazoo. I said, Abby, tonight we go on a UFO hunt, right, Abby? And within 15 minutes, we were recording something in the sky that made no sense to our eyes or our ears. The same craft that I have recorded many times, in fact, for you all, making different sounds at different times, and one in which I saw tonight, but could not record as I was driving down a little county road. Wife Lilith, if she's still here. Hi, Watha. Oh, good. I'm glad you're here. How you doing, Hi, Watha? Wife Lilith may relate to the type of landscape that I am delivering in when I talk about around Elkhart, Indiana. You get a half a mile outside of town, you're on some fucking road that's like flat, and there are these fields. I look out over this field now. Boom, the two big headlights low in the field, but up in the sky. It was dusk. I'm going 50. I got some, Indiana redneck on my ass. No offense, Wife Lilith. You know, you can almost, smell the Carhartts, and it's like they're on your ass. They're on your ass. They're trying to run your little Camry off the road. And you're trying to go like, but dude, there's like a weird thing in the sky. So, and you get to your customer and you're like, I have to hurry up. There's a UFO. And they're like, whatever, you weirdo. Anyways, Lacatski, let's get back to it just briefly, and then we'll wrap on Lacatski. But I just want to say, this guy is important to the UFO disclosure program and the whole process because he was cleared by DOPS, or by our very own government, to go on the Weaponized Broadcast show with the person who he wrote a book with, George Knapp, and Colm Kelleher, a name you hear we'll be hearing more of on this channel, Mr. Colm Kelleher. These are people in the know of what's kind of going on, or think they are anyways. Whether they are or not, I have no idea. But this Lacatski, what was I saying? Kelleher. Oh, you got me all wound up. Justin saying hi to Hiawatha. Justin, have you made it to 2,000 members yet? If not, please, can we have a mod? Wait, Justin, you're a mod. Can we have Justin mod put up his site in the chat? Hit copy and paste. Hi, Paula Fitzhenry. How you doing tonight? Good to see you. I hope things are doing well down there where you're at. I say down there. I guess it depends on what time of day it is, right? But I hope you're doing well over there on your island, right? You're on an island. Wife Lilith. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, anyways, you got to know about these county roads, White Lilith. I mean, around here in Indiana. Now, I'm not down around the Delphi way ever, but I'm in, southern Michigan, northern Indiana, and constantly, yeah, I know Hiawatha. I mean, it was the same too, and they were low in the sky again, and it's almost to the blasé point where I don't even care about recording it anymore. Like, it's kind of like, well, there they are again. So what? Maybe it's just some kind of security system or drone system, right? Abby, I mean, that is what we recorded. Same thing. I mean, it's still odd to me. Then when it flew right over my house, that was odd. And then it seems like every time I go live, I have some kind of weird little shit. 3 times ago, the drone flew over my house, right? We put that up. The last time I went live, I think before Justin and Sheba came on the air for the interview, I recorded an orb that disappeared. I mean, it is clear that orb disappeared. There were no clouds. I waited and waited for it to come out on the other side. I even walked around the X-chicken coop. No orbs. There was no orb. It just blinked out. That was really weird. That's been one of my weirdest things that's happened in a while. Hey, Boston, how you doing? Good to see you. Really, Wife Lilith? I don't know if you really mean that, though. I mean, with everything that could mean. Let me grab my notes. I have notes tonight. Do you guys think the setup is better? I mean, Shibby said it was good. The camera seems clear. I was constantly fighting a bad signal before I hooked up the direct 200-foot Ethernet cable that I have now running outside and directly in here hardwired to my computer. I feel like I have a better signal. I feel like I'm actually broadcasting live from the mountaintop in the swamp. Paul Fitzhenry seeing Scream 7 tomorrow. They made 7 of those. Really? Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, horror movies are the ones that have to do it. I just, is that something you can actually go to a theater and see? Or are you seeing that at a friend's house on Netflix? Like, I just don't know, Paula. Hiawatha. Boston saying hi to Hiawatha. And Abby saying, I mean, you recorded it so many times. I know, right? Tonight, it was really, it was very dusky. I could see there was probably an 80-acre, well, I don't know what was in the field. The field was plowed and empty. But I could see all the way across the field to the tree line, which seemed to be about 80 acres. And I could see, midway looking up. It still would have been above tree level, but just it was out and up. But I still could not make out the body of a craft of any kind. Just those 2 giant fucking lights. It's just so weird. Wife saying I travel between Michigan and Indiana a lot. Yeah, well, it's close. I would guess either you have business to do up here, maybe, I'm not sure, or you're like the rest of Indiana, stopping up to visit one of our fine dispensaries. Hiawatha looks so much better, Derek. I hope so. And you know what? It's not like I paid a lot for it. Like that last machine I bought used on the Walmart online site for $100, and that was used. This machine was brand new. I got for $139. And it's not a Chromebook. It's Windows 11 cheapy model Lenovo, but it sure does feel a lot more solid. And I got the warranty with it, which I did last time with the used one. But if anyone remembers, out of the box, the used one when I first got it didn't work. So when I got the refund in store, because I had another one in stock somehow, and they must just have piles of these fucking things, They had it in stock and they refunded both the warranty and the computer, and that's nothing. They can't charge you for the warranty in the store. That's something you do online. So it was like, well, I guess I'll go without the warranty. And I'm glad I did, because I'd rather have put the $40 on this for 2 years. So Wife Lilith asking, so did you see all the videos about the guy who was live streaming when he found the metal? Yeah, I did see that, Wife Lilith. I think Patrick from Vetted pretty much debunked that. I watched the sort of debunking video on that today. Josh from Polarity did an excellent, did a good interview, an excellent stream on whatever that metal ball was. It was very believable. The fact of the matter is, you can buy those online. I'm not saying ones that fly around and do anomalous shit, but when Patrick broke down the video, and he has film, and I would guarantee almost if Scott Roeder were to get a hold of it. Hey Eli, good to see you. How you doing, bro? Right when the guy first starts filming, he's kind of out in the weeds a little bit by that lake, and there's sort of that black thing is spinning in the sky, you know. And he's like, "What is that?" Well, and he's live streaming on Twitch apparently. And this is a White Lilith if I have the case right here, right? And hi Watha, you probably heard about it too. Anyways, so Patrick from Vetted anyways broke the video down, and you can totally see, like, it's like one frame where it's not there and then it's there, like it was added. And Patrick's like, look, you can add shit during live streams, yada yada yada. So I mean, I thought if it is fake, he's good. He did a really good job the way he played it off. He wasn't overly, you know, like that guy that found the that tube. You see the one where the guy found the long metal tube in the ground, and he's like, he was just the worst actor ever. And it ended up coming out that, you know, he's like, I faked the whole thing. And it's like, whoa, buddy, we couldn't tell, you know. And but this guy would seem pretty genuine. But according to Patrick Embedded, it's all bullshit. Like all the Sphere videos. He calls it not the Booga Sphere, but the bogus Sphere. Boston saying hi to wife. So yeah, that's where we're at with all that. Okay, we went over Lacatski. Oh, one thing Lacatski said on the weaponized broadcast that Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp tried to sort of nail him down on, the big revelation, the big reveal, and what I was actually getting to, this is probably what I forgot earlier, was that he admits that we have a craft in our possession of unknown origin. In other words, we don't know apparently where it came from. I don't know the details on how it came down. What apparently it was in perfect condition. I have a feeling it's one of these egg ones. If you remember the eyes wide open guy, Jake Barber, flew a helicopter for different missions to recover these craft. He had a video out where he's recovering an egg, a large egg, which is funny because Mork and Mindy, you know, the whole thing is Mork came here in an egg, you know. It's like, who, you know, did somebody fucking know something? Even making Mork and Mindy, you know, it's like, what's really going on in Hollywood? But that's a whole different show. But that the big reveal was they finally breached the craft after like 40 years of trying to get in this thing. And then he wouldn't say anything more about it. He's the guy totally shuts up. You guys should check out that interview with Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp on the weaponized. I'm terrible about putting up stuff in the description section. So I'm just trying to tell you, you know, where to go if you want to check it out. Farmer, they can do that. Even great big ships gone in a second. Yeah, well, I think, oh, that does bring me to another point. Thank you, Boston. Okay, well, let's go over a couple things. I mean, since last I was live, really, I mean, I feel like we have almost had disclosure on the presidential level. Does everyone know? Oh, not at all, White Lilith. Fold away. Know what I'm talking about in terms of on the executive level this week, what's happened, you know. We've had an ex-president who's highly respected make a statement on a podcast. When asked if aliens are real, I mean, Obama flat out said, oh, aliens are real. I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept at and then the host goes, Area 51? He goes, yeah, there's no basement there, basically. I'm paraphrasing. There's no underground facility. He goes, unless, and he kind of puts, you know, takes a drink and looks over his cup, you know, at like, he goes, unless it's a big conspiracy that they keep it away from the president, which I think is what he was actually saying. Now, he went on later the next day to walk back those statements in a post that said, well, Dandy, maybe not by everybody, but I'm saying overall, when you look at popularity and numbers and things like that, I mean, he does fare quite a bit better than, say, a George W. Bush, you know. But I'm not here to argue Obama's legitimacy as a highly respected president. I mean, he's highly respected around the world, actually, by other leaders and And even Donald Trump, I think, has some warm feelings for him. I just don't think he likes to admit it. But Obama said aliens are real. Now, you guys do know also that Barack and Michelle, excuse me, Dandy, are producing the Betty and Barney Hill story, right? The Betty and Barney Hill story is a story about an interracial couple in 1961 actually coming back from a political event up by the Canadian border, driving down through New York in the back sort of highway area, and they are abducted by aliens. And it's really the first abduction case where if you ever listen to when they put Barney Hill under, you know, for the medical hypnosis, I mean, it's very scary to listen to. But Betty Hill went on to become a highly respected dandy author on the subject. And now they're both deceased, of course. Barney died very young. Back by the end of the 60s, he died of a heart condition. But you know, it's funny. Under hypnosis, he said they're dressed like Nazis. And that wouldn't be the last time we would start hearing about the Nordics and aliens that are dressed like Nazis. Well, we won't get into that today. And if you believe anything that the granddaughter of President Eisenhower, Laura Eisenhower, says, we surrendered to Hitler in 1952 via time travel. But so Obama says aliens are real. The next day he walks it back by saying that usual line that all these kind of big dogs always say, oh, well, I can't imagine we have a universe this big without, you know, other life being out there somewhere. But that's not the question. That's not the question that we're asking. We're not asking if aliens are real. We fucking want to know, are they on the planet with us? Have they been here, and has the government communicated with them? What are people recording? Why are they having all these experiences by the hundreds of thousands over the years, by the way? Okay. What is all this? Now, I've understood that Trump's disclosure speech, which is set to go July 8th of this year, 2026, on the 79th anniversary of the Roswell crash, will basically go over hard body craft, things we have recovered, and things we know for certain. But there's something that people that really are into UFOs don't like talking about, and that all of these hard body craft, all these biological materials, and everything that happens in this subject always comes back to the woo-woo, to the consciousness of our minds, to living examples of the double slit experiment using electrons, and to the second law of thermodynamics playing out right in front of us on a daily basis, right? Entropy. I think that's what was set into motion on this subject at an executive level when Obama admitted openly on the air that aliens are real. Period. Full stop. End of sentence. I haven't seen them, but they're real. He didn't say anything about, oh, they must be in the broad universe somewhere out there. That's not what he meant. He is privileged on certain information. I think all presidents know that they're real, but they're not briefed in on the specifics. I think Trump is. And Trump has basically been chosen to be the disclosure president because his ego is not going to have it any other way. In fact, not 2 days later, President Trump was interviewed on his airplane and said to the reporter who asked him, Mr. President, did you hear what Obama said about the aliens? He said, he shouldn't have said that. That's classified information. He broke the law by releasing that. Does that sound like they're not real? And then he said, I'm going to declassify them, and maybe I'll get Obama out of trouble by declassifying this. You can see that second law of thermodynamics in the works at that executive level right there. Now it's on his mind. Here we are basically going into a war with Iran, what could turn into a kinetic war with Russia and China, possibly known as a third world war. Yet we're talking about UFOs. Now, some people call that a PSYOP distraction. But I think he was speaking from the hip, and honestly, President Trump, I really got that impression. And in fact, he has directed the Secretary of War through an executive directorate or mandate, not an executive order, to release all information on UFO, UAP, and alien extraterrestrial biological entities. This is now something that is in motion legally. Okay. So when you couple that with people that have literally run the program within our government that has had the funding to figure out what's going on, also the privileged behind the scenes information to sort of piece together some of these things, coming out and saying we have an actual craft that we have finally breached the hull on. That would be one James Lacatski, the man we profiled tonight. I think when you put all of that with things like Scott Roeder's citizens, it's not really citizen science. The Tedesco brothers are more citizen science. Scott Roeder runs a company called The Evidence Room, in which he, as a company, as a video analytics expert and crime scene reconstruction specialist, has testified in over 1,500 murder trials. Not only did he verify my own UAP video by saying, Farmer, this is legit, email chain provided upon command, because I always bring receipts, but he is the person responsible for analyzing the Vegas alien film footage of the Kenmore/Gomez family. As we know, Kenmore was a pseudonym. In that, he picks out no less than 20 different points and several different entities within a 1 minute and 43-second video that the mother recorded of actual entities in the video. You couple that with the totality of what the vest cams recorded with the craft coming in at simultaneously with the ring cameras at the neighbors recording what that coming in, and what the actual true witness accounts of the Kenmore family, Angel, his brother, his mom and dad were. And Scott Roeder himself putting up a $5,000 challenge to any debunker that can work on his level as a video analytics expert, not some Mick West who goes, oh, that's some fucking rabbits. He has no video analytics expertise per se. Other video analytics experts who want to go over that peer-reviewed information, go to the evidenceroom.com. Download that for free and give it the challenge. And if you can figure out that that's fake, Scott Roeder will give you $5,000. Now, as I've said, I think official disclosure from Trump this summer, unless something happens sooner and he needs that to play that card for some reason, we don't know. Remember, we are in a Cold War with our enemies over this technology. We are not the only ones with this recovered technology. And we don't know what the Soviets, well, the Russians have, or the Chinese, or the North Koreans, or the Iranians. Okay? Maybe they made their own deals. Maybe they have found and recovered their own craft and figured out a few things. But make no mistake, they know that if we announce it first, it puts us on top. And that means that we have some of this technology nailed, which I believe we do. And we can talk about that on a different show. Let's read over a few comments here. I'm going to go ahead and go back now. That's sort of my dissertation slash bloviation for the night. Also, I will add that a group that, excuse me, I have been talking about a lot, both recently and in the past, the Collins Elite. It may be something you hear more of in the mainstream news now. All of this you are hearing in the mainstream news now. CBS, Fox, MSNBC, whatever. They're all playing clips of Obama saying aliens are real, and they're all showing Trump's tweet saying, I'm declassifying all this shit. I think we set some things into motion, whoever we are, people in general, by getting this out there and talking about it. So, but the Collins Elite is still oppressing this information. Remember, they are a upper echelon people within military intelligence who they say have been around since the 40s, but I contend have been around since at least 1896 to deal with the giant airship invasion of Jules Verne style airships that over 1,200 newspapers wrote about and over 100,000 Americans saw with their very own eyes. That's not yellow journalism. Those are facts. There were people, the people that they wrote articles about in those articles were real people. Not Jim and Bob from, the stable down the road washing the horse's ass. It was the judge. It was the sheriff. And they gave their full names and their accounts, and they were respected in their communities. And I guarantee you that tourism business aside or crazy stories aside, they didn't want to be known as liars in their community with some crazy story about a giant airship. A lot of those accounts are real. And a guy named George Collins, a patent attorney, took original credit for it. That's where I say the Collins leak came from. I think he might be a founding member of the Office of Naval Intelligence, which was founded, as we know, in 1882. Now, I think that pretty much knocks out my that knocks out the UFO section of this program. We'll read comments for a minute. Then we can move on to something else. Yeah. We'll start here. Ramble on. Anybody wanting to join up the broadcast can scroll back to the beginning. It's not that much. Dude, you gotta go potty. I may have to cut it an hour tonight, guys. This dog is now doing the potty shake, so we're still dealing with the dog, no updates. He's a happy dog. He's not unhappy. He's well fed. I walk him 3 or 4 times a day. Doing the best I can, White Lilith, I don't think you want to be abducted by aliens, but I hope your life is going okay right now. Let's see. I haven't gotten down to a good. What's everybody else up to on this exciting Friday night? Come on, guys. Here we go. Dandelion is saying, I think I'm part alien. I have Rh negative blood. Well, there's not just a conspiracy about that, Dandelion S. That is a very rare blood type with some certain qualities that I don't understand. I don't even know what blood type I am. Isn't that terrible? I wouldn't know what to tell I suppose a Boston Christian, I think you're an RN. How do they tell, like, if someone's in a car accident and they don't know their blood type and they're not conscious? Do they just test it really quick for a transfusion, whatever? Hey. Oh my God, you're so dramatic, bro. For real. Drama queen. Yeah. Oh my God. Guys, I'm going to have to take the dog out. I apologize. I'll read through these really quick. Hang on, baby. Shay Watson, I thought Rh negative were not supposed to have children. No, I don't think that's true. I think they run the same thing. They had the Rh negative blood. It's about the disclosure. We have a black president loosely based on Obama, who was not a relevant public figure yet at that time. I don't know what that means, but it's a funny sentence, Shay. I love it. Oh, Paul's saying, I like Obama. Me too. Voted for him twice. But we're not here to talk politics. Oh, could not. Okay, makes a little more sense now. Something was interesting. I'm not sure which one. Oh, Tartarians. Good one, Shay. I like it when you guys test me with your anomalous shit. Of course, Tartary was an area above Russia, I think, Siberia, all through the wilds of Russia, that supposedly existed on a map until the mid-1800s. Right, Shay? Do I have this right? Yeah. But that there was supposedly were advanced civilizations all over the planets that the Tartarians had left behind. And they even used buildings in I saw a show about Kalamazoo, Michigan. It was the most ridiculous shit, honestly, Shay, because I know when those buildings were built. I've been in them. I've researched it myself, and they're talking about this shit's 500 years old, and it just was dumb. It was flat Earth. It was flat Earth stupid. No offense to any flat earthers, but you guys have to definitely feel terrible. You're the one that's not going to fly. Oh, orbs. Yeah, those are real. Ghosts, probably real. Bigfoot, definitely real. Loch Ness, not sure. Big triangles. Flat Earth, that you idiot. There's no flat Earth. You can see it's round, you know. So I feel kind of bad for the flat Earth guys. I watched the Jesse Michaels interview on Area 52, and they made that joke. So, Paulo, you don't need StreamYard. If you're watching on YouTube, you just hit the link if you can see the link, and you come on if you want to. You know, I only go through the camera I have on my desktop. Well, I'm just using the one on my laptop, so same deal. I just have a different microphone now. I was just using the microphone on my laptop. I don't mind if I'm not sounding like I have a broadcaster's voice. What I need for it to do is to be a solid signal, you know, not to be breaking up and stuff. Shay, I had to get Rogum shots. Otherwise, my body kills a Rh positive child. Really? I don't know what all that means, but that's crazy. Sorry, I had to go cover the birds. Oh, nighttime for birdie buys. Yeah. Boston saying, I heard that just as I lost my internet, they can type and give universal blood. Did you guys just fucking hear that explosion? Wait a minute. No. Did anyone else just hear that fucking explosion out there? Something just exploded. And I don't mean gunfire, guys. No, I live in the middle of a gun range. Guys, I have to go investigate. That was really fucking loud. Like a tank of gasoline blew up or something. Not on my property, like a little ways away, but it was like boom. And then that lingering after effect. I'm going to take the dog for, you did hear something. So I'm telling you, play it back. I'm going to take the dog potty. This will give me a chance to take him out. I'm going to investigate this explosion. I will be right back, you guys. Stay with the Derek Farmer Network just for a few minutes if you want. If not, go do something else. You know, I can't help it. I don't have anyone out here to help me, so give me a second. Yeah, hang on, baby. It's all right. Hang on. We got to go see what blew up. Yeah, hang on, baby. I know. Yeah, I know. Baby, I know. You get to where you got to go. It's a little warm in here tonight. It's really warm outside right now. God, that was a really, really loud explosion. I'm putting my shoes on. Sorry, guys. I was all settled in for the night. But you know how it goes. All right. I got to put on my headlamp. So I always put on my headlamp because I don't want to get shot by poachers. You guys saw my car door, for Christ's sakes. All right, hang on, baby. You gotta put your fucking collar on, do the whole deal. I know. Oopsie. Come here. All right. You got a little smoky probably in here for you. Better open the window. Probably getting a contact gloves, poor thing. All right, here we go. Let me get my beer out of the way. Oh, all right, chill out, dude. That's fucking sketchy. All right, be right back, guys. All right, let's go far. Come on. What the fuck is exploding? find some food too? No? I mean, no sirens. I don't know what exploded. Sorry, guys. I apologize for that. Hang on. I gotta bribe him with a little bit of food. He loves to eat. It's his favorite thing in the whole world. Well, have some water. Settle down, bro. Damn, it ain't that hot in here. Oh, break. Oh. Whoa. Oh shit, bro. I almost fucking cut you. I'm so sorry. Okay, almost just cut the dog right open. That was really awesome. Get back, man. Alright, there you go. Oh. Okay, I'm back. Oh my God. Is there anyone left? No, everyone left. I don't blame you guys. I'm so sorry. Oh, Shibby's back. Sorry, Shibby. I had to take the dog out for a little pee, you know. I mean, crackheads causing anhydrous explosions, I guess. I haven't heard of that in a while. They even sell that crap anymore? Seems like they would do away with the one component that, you know, that people need to make that crap. I remember that type O blood people have low risk for heart disease and blood clots and higher risk for ulcers and hemorrhages. I think on the Shroud of Turin tested AB. Jesus might have had type AB. Interesting, Boston. Yeah. I mean, the Shroud of Turin, that's another, certainly another topic that people have just disregarded as not real, you know, like a lot of things. But I think there may be some validity to that Shroud of Turin. I do. Like almost like memory cloth, you know. I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought, guys. Oh, well, I skipped a bunch of time. My friend, okay, here we go. Shay saying, my friend Zachary Dunham, who is a filmmaker, has a great series on Tartaria. I hope he didn't do the one on Kalamazoo. Otherwise, he did not research well. But I have seen some that are rather convincing. I just feel like if you have any intimate knowledge locally about whatever city they're talking about, you're probably going, that's bullshit. I am interested that there may be, like, I know that some cities, like I think Cincinnati, has like an entire pre-buried city under the ground. It was really low ground, and they basically just buried it in and built on top of it. Göbekli Tepe. You know, I mean, people build things in and build on top. The pyramids. They are about to come out with some of the biggest discoveries. I've now heard that Zahi Hawass is actually on board. Actually on board to come out with the fact that they have found the labyrinth. That is an enormous, like 300,000 square feet structure underground. I mean, so I think that as long as I don't have a heart attack first, we're in for some really cool new Egyptian finds. Where up to a mile under the ground, you know, they're finding a lot of this stuff. So we're talking things that are clearly not 3,000 or 4,000 years old, but they're saying 50, 60, and 70,000 years old. That the advanced technology was even more advanced back then. So, and I don't mean that it is today, and whatever advanced meant at the time. But when you dig down underneath some of the what we call, like, if you go to what's a place in I think it's Peru, Sasqua, I can't pronounce it right now. Sometimes it rolls right off the tongue, whatever. But I'm trying to think of the other place. The Temple of the Sun is there. And it's like you can tell that the Indians or the indigenous people of, say, 1,000 years ago put little rocks and tried to build on top of what was already there. And there you have these interlocking stones that they also have in the, jungles of Cambodia from thousands of years old. So, I mean, they're like notches and they fit together and then they pour metal into it and it locks. It's really amazing. You can't even put a piece of paper in between these things. All kind of weird dimensions and odd outcroppings on the rock. Just makes no sense at all. That doesn't mean they're aliens or so advanced that they're flying around in spaceships. I'm just saying they would have us convinced that people couldn't even grow agricultural agriculturally as we do in the modern day or breed animals up till 4,000 or 5,000 years ago. And I just have to cry bullshit on that. They were building things that were way beyond. I mean, Göbekli Tepe is just blowing that out of the water. If you've looked at any of those T-shaped pillars that they are uncovering in the ground, just the carvings alone are so intricate, How could they dare say something that's 12,000 years old with such beautifully intricate, carved, amorphic animals and stuff on there? That does, again, I want to make sure that humans get the credit for the cool shit they do also. So why isn't Shivy a mod? I don't know. I just haven't thought about making. I mean, he's not really on that much. I mean, I'm not a mod on his channel, but I mean, I don't care. Anyone could be a mod though. Yeah, I did get abducted briefly. I tried to make the dog. Wait a minute. I'm hearing something weird and anomalous. You see, guys, when you live out in the middle of a 120-acre soybean field, any sirens, gunshots, that's the norm. So if I'm hearing gunshots, I'm feeling almost relaxed. Like people that live under an airport, for example, when they hear a plane go over that lands okay, even though it's loud to everyone else, it rattles the windows, they're like kind of like, ah. Or if you live next to a train track your whole life, like I did, that shakes your house and you can hear the train coming and choo-choo. It does something more to relax you. And now people that aren't used to that come and stay, they're like completely bothered by it, stuff like that. My cousin lived under Metro Airport, basically under Metro Airport. The planes would line up and we slept upstairs, in the kind of, how those houses had the slanted ceilings, kind of like almost like a half story. And the plane would line up these huge jets, the biggest ones of the day, landing in Detroit Metro. And they would shine the bright headlights right through the entire bedroom. It was just nuts. And I don't mean every 5 minutes. I mean about every 17 seconds, all night long, just coming in, boom, boom, boom. And my aunt and uncle ended up getting all new doors and windows, all kinds of shit from the airport because it rattled all their shit loose. That's how close they were. I always rather liked it though, but along that same vein, out here in the country, you hear gunshots or you hear your usual stuff. Someone peeling out in a car or perhaps, screaming at their family. You're in the country, But when you hear like sirens or something that's not normal, boy, it really stands out. It really stands out. Like any little thing, Sorry, I'm kind of talkative tonight. Kind of feeling it, kind of not. But I knew that I needed to come on and say hi to you guys. It's been like it's been like 10 or 11 days since the interview with my buddy Justin. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I don't know if anybody saw me my appearance on Cryptex's channel last week with Skip Jansen. I was going to go over that a little bit, not the details of it, but if you want to do that, just go over to Cryptex's channel, sub up, and check out the show. It's not a members only show, in other words. I thought it was really fun. I really had a great time. I love going on the air. You guys know with Cryptex. It's only the second show that I've done since we've been doing shows again. But each time, at least as far as the second time goes, it feels more and more organic, and it always feels very comfortable. And Thank you to Cryptex and to Skip Jansen, who I love to have on. You know, Skip is the kind of guy where you can just sort of line him up and let him go, and he's always got something to say about it. So that's great for the radio, you know, and I love his perspective on some things. He's defiant for the right reasons, right or wrong, but I think his heart is always in the right place, and I do really like Skip Jansen a lot. And I think we'll probably do shows on things. You know, we back channel talking sometimes. We email each other a little bit and or text occasionally. And I think we'll probably do some shows on some other things as well. You know, Skip doesn't just talk about Delphi. He knows a lot about a lot of things. So look for that in the future, hopefully. Dandy, good documentary about the Shroud. Yeah, I've seen some just some talking about it again recently. I thought maybe some new testing was done on it. I don't know, but it seems almost pretty legit. Boston saying blood A, B, and AB have risks for heart issues and blood clots, stomach and pancreatic cancers, and more risk of cognitive decline. AB, she believes, the highest risk, but not positive. So then what's the best Boston? What is the Donald Trump of, blood types, the best one? I want the best one. I don't want just any blood. I want the best blood type. So if I want the best blood type, what am I going for? Am I going for something positive or a negative? Because I don't like the idea of stomach or pancreatic cancer. That's pretty much a no-win, especially that if pancreatic cancer is curable. I mean, we all know that Patrick Swayze would still be here. He would have gotten the cure, you know. Shay Watson, he's exceptionally well researched. Who is? Oh, you were talking about somebody who makes the documentaries, yeah. Oh yeah, aren't you a mod? Shay is a mod, right? If you want to be a mod, just tell me. I'll make you a mod right now. I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna make Shivy a mod. In fact, I trust Shivy's judgment. You know. How do I do that? Delete, put in timeout. I don't want to do any of those things. Wait. How do I make Shivy a mod? Right click? No, that doesn't make any sense. All right, I need a mod to tell me how to make a mod. I forgot how to do it. It's been a while. Boston saying, Dandy, I wonder why those aliens always wanted to be part of us. I think they are totally low on emotion. Yeah, well, I mean, there's something to that, Boston. I mean, that's part of one thing I have heard, actually. They're not like us, you know. At some point along the way, they lost their ability to be sort of creative and spontaneous and enjoy humor, and also to believe in anything like God. And so they're really fascinated, apparently, by our ability to sort of put all of the common sense things aside and sort of just be like, I believe in this, you know, or to find joy in the littlest of things, right? That's something that's almost exclusively human, it sounds like. That's what they want. And if they are truly interdimensional beings, like the Collins Elite, Collins Elite says the interdimensionality of them makes them demonic in nature, which is why they don't even discuss it. And this is all real stuff, guys. That's what they believe. They believe Aleister Crowley, Jack Parsons, and Werner von Braun, and whoever else was in that whole group of weirdos in the late 30s conjured something at some point that brought evil onto this plane, and haven't been able to put it back since. That's part of it. It's all part of it. Because they used to do these blood magic rituals, like in the desert, you know. And then suddenly Jack Parsons blew up in his own lab. I don't know. I have a problem, you know, like a lot of times, a lot of these advanced beings that they're calling them, or these aliens that are coming here, are known as Nordics. They're white with blonde hair. Like, if it's going to be a racist future, like where only like beautiful white people exist, like I don't even think I don't want to go, you know, like that's just not working out cool. Like that's not how I thought shit was going to be evened out or working out. I want to know, where are the black people in space? That's all. I thought O positive was the universal. Is it just plain O, Boston? Shay would like to know. Dandy saying hello to Shibby. If I missed Hiawatha tonight, I did see you in the chat. Hi, Hiawatha. I'm sorry I got a little sidetracked. Maybe you're doing something else also. I'm looking back. I love me some Hiawatha. That's my big sister, right? But yeah, Boston, I do think there's something to that. I mean, obviously, look, I mean, I'm more of a crypto-terrestrial, ultra-terrestrial hypothesis guy. I don't think these things are coming from a long distance off. I'm not saying that doesn't happen also, or has never happened. I think they're coming from right under our own feet. I think they are far advanced from us, possibly a breakaway civilization at some point, even millions of years ago, that basically lives way underground, you know. Heavy, yeah, Heavy, how are you? Want to say hello and make sure you're keeping warm. I am keeping warm. Well, tonight's a warm night, so we're all good there. But generally speaking, I have been keeping warm. You know, I feel like we made it through the sweet dude Shivy, you're never lesser just because of that O negative blood you got. You know, that's just not true. You are not lesser. Cryptex is here. Hey Crypt, how you doing? Yeah, oh, that's right. I was just talking about being on your show the other night with Skip Jansen, as a matter of fact. Crypt, tonight we have been going over James Lacatski. We started out the show, and well, thanks for stopping in too, Heavy. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see people from other communities. It rarely happens, you guys. I kind of have my own circle here, so it's always nice to see, you know, because I do chat in other communities, but not just here, you know. Always good to see Cryptex. Crypt, I thought that was a great show the other night, by the way. I'm ready to rock and roll on something whenever you are. I don't know what, but oh, and I wanted to talk about Justice Served Dailies live from last night, which I know I went on and on about it, but to me, I mean, that broadcast was fire. Like, I started watching it. I don't know how long she had started before I started watching. I haven't gone back and replayed from the beginning, but she was right in the middle of this story and tying it all almost to Delphi about this killer who he admitted killing this girl that was missing just like a week ago in Indiana. Now I can't remember her name, unfortunately. It was a very nice tribute that Justice Served Daily did. I'm so sorry I can't remember her name. If anybody can, please put it up in the comment section. I encourage everyone to go sub up and check out Justice Served Daily. She was my 5th interview, episode VC. The one right after Cryptex and a reluctant Mr. Steve. Not really. Mr. Steve called in on that one. That was so great. Crypt, if you remember. That was episode 4. And yeah, I'll make you a mod. Yeah, I'm making Shivy a mod too. I don't know how to do it really that well, you know. So yeah, I think the laptop then passes the test for $139. I mean, shit, what do you want for $139 these days, you guys? I mean, that was a great score. I barely researched anything as usual, just like, give me this, I need it. This other computer was not working. And yeah. I'm not sure if I have much more tonight. I'm gonna dig into some breadsticks. Anyway, I was saying I was gonna take Monday off and fix my the Camry. I need to do CB shafts. Hey Abby, you're still here. Good. How's school going? How is school going for you, Abby? I need to hear it. And my mechanic was gonna help me do this, of course, and but then all of a sudden my boss was like, hey, you know, there's a tip for 100 and some bucks, you know, on Monday morning. Do you want to come in? And I'm like, yeah, I kind of do. So I put that off for another 2 weeks. The car repair, the mechanic thinks it'll be okay. And instead, I'm going to go in and rake up a couple extra $100 on a day off. Yeah, I just got to do it. Anything where I can make a couple $100 in a day extra, you know, just working in the pizza business, I got to take advantage of that. So that's what I'm going to do. And anytime, I mean, it'll be my biggest tip I've ever had since I've been working there. So That's a damn good day. It's only like 12 pizzas, $105 tip for 12 pizzas. I mean, I would wash their car if they want, you know, everything. I would do the dishes. I would a little back rub, you know. I don't care. I don't care. I'll do it all. Sweet dude Chevy, do you have a HDMI port on the DM side, an extra monitor to extend desktop? Make it easier. I use 3 52-inch TVs. Well, Chevy, if I put 3 52-inch TVs in my RV, it will tip over on its side. Boom. That's too much. That's too much TV for this little space. I mean, I know it looks giant on this new camera, probably like, you know, a few thousand square feet that I'm living in here, but I'm living in an RV, Chevy. So, but you know, I do have an HDMI port, and I would like to add a monitor. I think it would be cool, and I do want to integrate more things. I think it would help with that. So we'll look at that in the future. Right now, not spending any extra money on anything except for the basics. We're up, we're broadcasting. That's where we're going to be for now. Now, Chevy, if you want to send me from Canada, first class mail, any of these things, you know, preferably that will work with my Lenovo, you feel free to do so. A sweet dude. Haha, 119-inch monitor besides is good. Beside is good. Yeah, now something like that I could do. I could even put that on the wall. I could do a number of things. I'm afraid to put anything on the wall, an outer wall, because I'm afraid if I do, it'll just go right through to the outside. It's a fucking RV. It's got thin walls. It's not like my house, you know. I could like put things on the wall. Here I'm like, if you go past like an inch, you're through to the outside. So I want to be real careful on what kind of, you know, pictures I'm tacking up, Shibs. So I can share that screen and have StreamYard on another. Look, I'm not disagreeing with you. I would love to have that capability. Just not there yet. I mean, even having the internet, I got this little like Google thing I can play. You know, I could have all the Netflix and all that shit on the TV. You know, they're smart TVs now. Very smart. We have the smartest TVs here in America, of course. It's the brilliant televisions. I get should be saying I get my TVs used on Craigslist or free from people. You're right. No, that's great. Yeah. I've done that whole game. I totally when I was living in Kalamazoo, I mean, I scored all kinds of cool shit. Yeah, you're right. You okay? You didn't say that. Well, you know, I'll tell you, around here, Goodwill and Salvation Army is good. I mean, they have a standard price, right, for a used monitor. So if you know, like, which ones are the high quality ones of the day, which I have scored a couple. I don't know where they are now, but it's storage or something, I suppose, or broken or something. For like $10 each anyway. So yeah, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. With all that being said, you guys, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Thank you for listening to me go on tonight about what was his name? James Lacatski. I'm making the revelation that not only do we have a craft for the last several decades, but that we have finally, after 40 years, breached the hall. This man works for an official DIA department in the United States government. He was the head of OSAP. And he has been cleared by DOPSR, by the whole process where intelligence and military people get cleared to write and to go on these shows and talk about certain things. So is disclosure happening before our eyes? I think in a way, slow disclosure is definitely rolling out. Now we have Trump talking about declassifying. He has already given the order to the Secretary of War / Defense, Pete Hegseth, to begin to compile these things and release them to the National Archives. It's a lot of activity for something that they don't consider real. For something that supposedly doesn't exist. We're waiting on the big announcement. You know, we don't have our entire lives to do so. We don't know what's coming. So I'd appreciate it sooner rather than later. I think people can handle it. I don't think they will be so affected. Another big explosion. Not sure if you guys heard that, but boom. I am not sure what that is. Other than an explosion, but the first one didn't bring sirens. So that's all. Did you guys hear that? I mean, Dandy heard the first one. That one was actually a little bit loud, a little bit more sharp. I don't know if you heard it or not. It's like Beirut around here. It's like fucking Beirut around here. No offense, you know, I'm not trying to be insensitive. That's weird. Well, hey, probably just some kids having fun, you know, like the old days, you know, cherry bomb or something like that. Who knows? You know, you can buy a lot more fireworks in Indiana. Maybe it's just some really loud fireworks. Let's hope. Hey, but I want to say thank you to for Heavy, Miss Heather Brown for stopping in. Of course, Sweet Dude Shibby. Thank you for giving me a listen tonight. I enjoyed your show the other night. I was in there for a couple hours. Of course, Shibby does a broadcast. Oftentimes, well, it used to be overnight more, but he's trying to format it a little bit more now, I feel. And I think that's good. Why not rein it in a bit? Typify some of those finer points that you do so well, and really bring it home. I'd like to see both of our subscriber bases going up, because I think we both provide safe. I don't want to say safe like some boohoo liberal, but I think our chat spaces, I think our community should be, regardless of where you're at on Delphi or what I think about this guy or that guy, who gives a shit? We see each other as humans. We get along well. And I really enjoy being, you know, over on your side of the chat. Cryptex also. I like being, you know, around people that are just want to have a good conversation. You know, it doesn't have to be about a I got you moment. You know, I don't really care much for that. So I know Shibby doesn't really put up with anything. He's got like the sweetest way to sort of shake people down and make them do the right thing. But good night, wife Lilith. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, that's pretty much the rule. You know, people are cool. They're welcome anytime. And that's all. But thank you to Hiawatha. Thank you to Boston Christian, to my friend Abby Morris. To, of course, Dandy Lioness. Really great to see you. I haven't seen you in a while, Dandy. Boston Christian, if I didn't mention you, which I'm pretty sure I did already probably 4 times because I love you. Shay Watson. Always great to see Shay Watson. Shay will we'll have to drill down on a couple more specific thoughts. I mean, both Shay and Boston both have stories I would love to get up on the air sometime. Paula Fitzhenry, always good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Just scrolling back here, guys. I'd like to say good night to everyone. It looks like that's about it. And to anyone who may watch, you know, Mr. Steve or thank you, Cryptex, for stopping in too. Also, Skip Jansen, anybody that may choose to watch down the road. Again, I recommend subbing up to Justice Served Daily, the live that she did last night. I mean, she brings documents and all these weird connections to this case she was following that somehow kind of related back to Delphi and stuff like from 2017. It was really gave me some chills, some goosebumps. So check her out and sub up. She's awesome. And she has like 1,600. She doesn't even allow super. She allows no money. She's totally free of charge. She does it for the love of broadcasting and mostly for trying to help the victims and the victims' families. She really does it for the right reason. Kind of like Arctic True Crime Fox also did for a long time, who I hope is doing well. I know, taking a break for a while. Shout out to Arctic Crime True Fox. To all my other friends who create, keep creating. Don't stop. If you do find yourself in a bit of a dead air zone, you know, hit me up. Email me, djfarmer.llc@gmail.com. Let's broadcast together. I mean, we can always get a night going on any topic you want. I love to talk about anything. So I don't want new broadcasters to ever feel so in fear of going on the air that they don't broadcast. Just get on the air and do it. You don't even need anyone to watch. Do it for yourself. It's liberating. Oh, and Eli McCullough. Yeah, I want to say hi to Eli. And I even want to say hi to Junior Johnson. Even though I haven't seen him in a few shows, I certainly hope he is doing well. TMO night for sure. Before Dave's, I'm doing the Prowl before the Owl. I love that title, by the way. At 11 p.m. Eastern until Owl starts at 1 a.m. Okay, cool. If I'm up, Shibby, I will be in your chat. I'm not sure if I will be up or not. Oh wait, it's 11 right now. You're going to do it right now. With all that being said, everybody head on over to Sweet Dude Shibby's channel for one of the friendliest chats on the internet. And that's the pre-prowl pregame, if you will, for Owl on the Prowl, Danger Dave, who I love also. Danger Dave is awesome. He's one of the most compassionate. He always does different stories every week. Sometimes he goes historic on them. Oh, wait, shit. Okay, scratch all that. That's Saturday night. Tonight is Friday. Apply everything I just said to tomorrow night, and you will be okay. But check out both their channels. And thanks for stopping in here tonight and listening to me go on. Thanks for participating, as always, in the chat. Love you guys. Have a great night. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Always keep your eyes on the skies. Good night.